What's going on, everyone? IBG here, Coach G Stashes here for my week 2 team builder and post commentary for the Pokemon Beginners League, the PBL. This week I am facing against WolfyDrago, coach of the Colorado Dream Eaters. Of course, I did my battle before, did both the team builder and the battle beforehand, so obviously go straight into it. Here's his team and what I probably would expect them to have. I do expect him to have Jirachi. Jirachi's like a real good Pokemon with all base 100 stats basing around this Pokemon. He has Hydreigon, which could come in as like a special sweeper. Could have like U-turn, like to switch in and out and be like a Scarf set. But I know this thing will hit hard if you decide to bring it. Ninetales, I'm really scared of because I really don't have a counter other than Victini and Aggron for my team, so this thing could do a whole lot, and if it sets up with like Nasty Plot, it could destroy my team alone. And it also provides a really good sort of defense with the Aurora Veil within the hail that it gets with its snow warning. Next up we have Suicune, which is a very bulky Pokemon. It's somewhat something that I do expect him to bring because of how bulky it is, getting a Calm Mind, Rest, and then having moves to back it up that could help it. He does have Salazzle, which is a very fast Pokemon. Could hit hard, could be a nasty plot set, or could just be like, could have like utility moves like Taunt and Toxic just to like will down my team, or Disable just to like prevent me from using a move. He also has Snorlax, which is a very bulky Pokemon, and also could set up if used the right way, and could hit pretty hard too. He has Cradily, which is a very very bulky Pokemon as well, but could just be up there to set up rocks. Trevenant, somewhat like a wall like Cradily, except it has Will-O-Wisp and Leech Seed, which could chip me down if it wants to. Also has Harvest, which you could abuse with like Citrus Berry. I know you can get 50% berries, but I feel like with Harvest you'd want to run Citrus Berry instead. And him on top, he has a pretty bulky Pokemon. Gets these few abilities that can help it, and good access to moves. Golbat with Eviolite is a very bulky Pokemon and has a good speed set. And finally, he has Mega Manectric. I know I have a regular Manectric, but I put it on there just to make it even 12 Pokemon. But he has Mega Manectric with very fast Pokemon and could hit pretty hard on the special side. Now looking at my team right here, I did bring these 6 Pokemon, and I expected, and it covers up at least most of his team. I tried my best to prep against all 12 of his Pokemon, no matter what 6 he decides to bring. So this is what I based it off of. First off, we have Victini with the Electrum Z, V-Create, Zen Headbutt, Bolt, Strike, and Brick Break. Ran Adamant Nature, ran 244 in speed to outspeed. Let's see if I can get this right. The Hydreigon? No. There's something. Okay, it was a Suicune. I keep on forgetting what Pokemon I have set to outspeed because I don't have the notes for all the EV spreads. Ran Max Attack, Adamant Nature, and then having that little special defense for bulky, for a little bit of more bulk. I guess to handle against like Salazzle if it decides to bring it. Of course, V-Create and Zen had about stab moves, Bolt Strike, plus their GMZ does a whole lot to Suicune. I'm pretty sure it might even knock it out. And Brick Break is for a little Ninetales because he does have Aurora Veil, and it does like provide a really good defensive support on his team. I have Brick Break, that way it will destroy that Aurora Veil he decides to have. Next up we have Gabriella Galvantula. I wanted to run a Sash lead set so that way I can get sticky webs right off the back. Do have Thunder for its stab move and Bug Buzz as well. And then Volt Switch provides me a good switch initiative move. Ran 196 to outspeed Jirachi, I believe. And then just ran max special attack. I didn't know what else to put my EVs in, so I just put in HP since I didn't want to like specifically run it in defense or special defense. Next up we have Hoodlum, the Scrafty. Roselli Berry to live a fairy type move from Alola Ninetales. Pretty basic move, or pretty basic set. Knock off High Jump Kick and Ice Punch with a Dragon Dance. Max speed, max attack, 4 HP, and Jolly Nature. This at +1 does outspeed Alola Ninetales. I believe Alola Ninetales reaches 179. I believe. I can go back and check just to make sure. And no, it's 177. And I believe if I did have it at 120, oh no, if I did keep it lower like this, I would only speed tie with Alola Ninetales at +1. So I decided to run at max speed just so I can outspeed the Alola Ninetales. Next up, we have Cody's Araquanid Splash Plate to boost up the liquidation with the water bubble, doing a whole bunch of damage. Leech Life is for HP, does provide a good offensive pressure against Hydreigon and Cradily and Trevenant. And when I talk about Cradily, it does provide a move to hit Cradily since its ability of Storm Drain, and I did want to have a move to hit at least. Infestation and Toxic, I am basically with the Araquanid, I am basically making it a trapping set, which this helps a whole lot against Suicune, Salazzle, and I believe one more Pokemon. Oh, and Alola Ninetales. If it does not have Freeze Dry on Alola Ninetales, this also does cover up against that too. So I made this little trapping set, almost max attack, a lot of bulk and HP, defense, and special defense to cover around the defenses. Next up, we have Hudson the Rhydon, running a dual dancing set with Rock Pulse, Swords Dance, and then having Rock Slide and Earthquake. Because with this set, it does cover basically this whole team. I believe the only thing only two Pokemon that do counter me is the Cradily and Trevenant. But aside from that, Rhydon could come in and just sweep the rest of his team. And then last but certainly not least, we do have Titanium Diagron, running a special defensive set last time because I think I ran a physical defense set. I wasn't too proud of building that set, so I wanted a more balanced Aggron set because even when Mega Evolve, it's still getting like over 200 defense. So I believe I should just run max special defense just so I can have more bulk on this side. Running Heavy Slam, Earthquake as my only attacking moves, Stealth Rocks just so I can get some hazards up, and Toxic just to will down Pokemon's HP. Now that's my team, I will quickly cut to get to the replay. See you guys then. Okay, I am back, and I do have the replay showing. He decides to bring Alola Ninetales, Hydreigon, Trevenant, Salazzle, Cradily, and Snorlax. I did expect him to bring Jirachi because whenever I think Pixie's Minds, I would expect my opponent to bring it. And I did not expect him to bring both Cradily and Trevenant. Heck, I probably didn't even expect to bring either one of them, but he decides to bring both of them, which is really caught me off guard when he first brought it. And I believe the Hydreigon was somewhat of a scarf set just from looking at the front of the battle. Anyways, to get started, I'm just going to put it on slow so I can talk through every bit of turn that's right here. Okay, so first off, I couldn't decide whether to lead with Araquanid or Victini since they were both good leads on my part. I basically went for the 50-50 and I just went for Victini. Turns out I made a bad choice in my lead because the leads to Hydreigon and it has to lead me back into Araquanid. If I did lead Araquanid, it would probably give me like a good spot to be in because I could have possibly trapped this Hydreigon if he decided to stay in and probably went for like a Draco Meteor. It would not have probably brought me to like 60% and I could like live the hit and just be able to sit in this thing and trap it. I apologize for that. I did not know I had the music on. But he decides to U-turn when I had to switch into Araquanid. And right here he goes into Cradily since it's the main thing that walls my Araquanid. Right here just click Toxic in front of it regardless if it stayed in or not. I knew it was going to go for Stealth Rock, so I just decided to make an offensive play and click Toxic on it just to chip down the Cradily's health. Right here I made a swap to Aggron since I knew he could not touch me at all with Cradily. And decided to go for Toxic. I expected him to stay in, so I just made a good prediction right there. Right here, I'm just going to Mega Evolve, regardless of what he does. He goes into Trevenant right here, but I'm just going to Mega Evolve and get off my rocks. I did try to think of clicking like Heavy Slam in case he decides to switch into something, but I just went what I needed to go to. Right here, I just go with Araquanid, trying to predict like a Will-O-Wisp coming in. I was really scared if he clicked Shadow Claw here that my Araquanid would go down right here, but he ends up going for Leech Seed instead. So I just take a little bit of health off from Leech Seed. He decided to switch and go to Cradily. I expected it to either stay in since he did go for the lead seed, so I probably wouldn't think he would have an offensive move to touch Cradily. Probably at the most like Horn Leech, but it probably wouldn't have done so much. So right here, regardless of what his play was, I was going to click Infestation just to get some chip, and it turned out to be Cradily with a switch in. So with the Toxic and Infestation racking up, it's cutting down Cradily's HP by a whole lot. And right here, I did want some damage off the Cradily, so I just went for Leech Life. It did almost half of its full health. It ends up clicking Rock Slide, and the Leech Seed ends up finishing me off right here. But really, I didn't have to make a good play. I could have swapped instantly to something else, but I didn't want to make that aggressive play. I have no clue what I was about to say, but I'm just going to continue. Right here, I'm going to go into a Scrafty just so I can set up with Dragon Dance, regardless of what his play was. If he decided to switch out, that's good for him. But right here, I'm just going to get my Dragon Dance. He goes for the Toxic just to will me down since he thought, just in case if he had the chance to live, I'm guessing. Right here, just go to knock off just to get rid of the Cradily right off the back. Now right here, he does go into Ninetales, and like I said before, in Team Builder, I had prepped the Scrafty to outsped Ninetales at +1. All the thing that mattered was just if I hit high jump kick, which I do end up hitting high jump kick and knocking out the Ninetales, then the rest of the battle would have been smooth sailing for me. And I knew knockoff nor Ice Punch was going to knock it out, so I had to click high jump kick right off the back. Here goes into WolfyDrago I. I made the mid ground right play. I did want to go for high jump kick, but I didn't know if he was going to stay in. He just clicks U-turn, and right here I just click Ice Punch just to do some damage. If he decides to go into Snorlax, it would have been a good play on his part, because if he was sick fat, it would have taken that a whole lot better. Here he just gets a double harvest from his Citrus Berry. And knowing that, regardless of what he went into, I was going to click knockoff because I just wanted to sack off Scrafty since it already was at 5 health. It couldn't come in on rocks again, so to go down to it. So right here, just knockoff, he goes to Snorlax, and I get rid of his Chesto. So it could have been like a Rest Hog set, or just been a Chesto set, and just could have had like 3 moves. Right here, just going Victini, and I had packed Electrium Z for the Suicune. He did not bring it, so I just decided to put some good use to it and just use it on Snorlax to get rid of it. Here he goes into WolfyDrago, and here I just decide to switch and go to Aggron since it was especially defensive, and to take on WolfyDrago better. Regardless of what his play right here was to do, I just go for the Heavy Slam. No matter what he brings in, he brings in a Trevenant, and that takes the Heavy Slam and instantly goes down. Now right here, after the Trevenant goes down, he decides to bring a Salazzle, and right here I thought Aggron was going to die to the Flamethrower regardless. I did not have a switch in, so I decided to stay in. He clicks Flamethrower, and it ends up not taking me out, and I just take down the Salazzle as well. Now right here it was still questionable for the end game. Right here he does lose because I do have Ride on the back to take the hits. He clicks Stone Edge, and I knew from the back his WolfyDrago was Scarf, and I did not know why he clicked Stone Edge if he wanted to at least get a kill. He probably should have just gone for Dark Pulse. It still would have killed me. And Stone Edge has that chance of missing, which he did miss twice, and I ended up killing the WolfyDrago with 2 Heavy Slams at the end. So anyways, that is good game to WolfyDrago. I do end up winning 4-0, and that leaves me 8-0. No. 2-0 with the +8 ranking in this draft league. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy, and we'll see y'all next week, or at least in my next video. Anyways, goodbye.